Hey, what's up guys, Totallydubbed here, and today I'm doing a video review for the Philips BDM4037UW. Now, as you might be able to see on my desk, this is a huge 40-inch monitor. Yes, a 40-inch monitor. This runs at a fantastic 4K UHD resolution, which is 3840 times 2160, so glorious 4K. Now, before jumping into it, in terms of price, I found it for £596 on the BT shop. I couldn't find it in the US. If links do come about, or if you do spot any cheaper prices, do let me know. On Amazon.co UK, I found it for £800, but I was informed that it should be reviewed at around $599. So that is the price of the monitor, and that's the price I'll be reviewing at. Now, first of all, in terms of its specs, what do you get? Now, it is a 40-inch 4K monitor, as I had previously explained. It runs at a 16:9 aspect ratio, runs at 60 Hz at 4K, has a quoted response time of 4 milliseconds, and I'll briefly explain in terms of how it does in terms of gaming, in case you're interested in casual gaming. It has a VA panel. It has a flicker-free design within it as well. In terms of inputs, you've got VGA, 2 display ports and 2 HDMIs, both of which are MHL compatible, so you can plug in your smartphone. But in terms of technology, one is 1.4 and the other one is HDMI 2.0. Obviously, the HDMI 2.0 will give you that 4K resolution as well, or a higher refresh rate if needs be, but nevertheless, it's capped at 60 Hz. It's also got 4 USB 3.0 ports at the back, one of which has fast charging enabled as well. And it's got PC audio in and headphone 3.5mm jack out. I should also say it has 2 5-watt speakers. I must say they were both disappointing. In all honesty, I was very much disappointed at the size of the monitor, yet its sound quality was absolutely horrendous. So if you want that, it's just for basic Windows sounds, nothing else. Other than that, guys, full specifications that I'm reading out there will be in a link in the description below. Now, I want to just quickly mention its build quality. Now, the monitor has a curved display. Now, I previously reviewed a 4K Philips monitor, and this one is actually slightly curved. Now, the curvature is very, very slight. Maybe you'll be able to see it like so. Very slight curvature. In all honesty, the curvature is nice in terms of its looks, in terms of its design. In terms of you noticing it, however, it's very slight. It does wrap around on the edges, on the left hand and right hand sides, which is fantastic, but it should be noted that it's a curved monitor. Now, its stand is very much sturdy. You can adjust the monitor going backwards and forwards in terms of the a slight little tilt to it, very, very slight tilt, but given the size of the monitor, it's to be expected to be very much limited in terms of your adjustments in terms of height or whatnot. But nevertheless, because it's a VA panel, you do get great viewing angles. But I should mention, if you're going to be viewing it like this, from this sort of side, even though it says on the website 174 degrees or something like that, viewing angles, I noticed when you start going to the left or right, you do notice a slight color shift, so do bear that in mind. So in terms of build quality, I'm very much impressed, and I must say in terms of the bezels, they are very, very thin all around, and the actual build quality of the stand itself is very beautiful to look at. Another note is that it's a silver monitor, which is actually quite rare to come across, so it does bring a change from your normal black monitors that you come across. Now, in terms of the OSD, I was very much impressed because at the back you've got a small little joystick control. I'm just going to quickly go through that. If I just reduce the EV of my camera and just come in just a little closer so you guys can see, and I'm just going to go into the OSD. Now, the joystick controls are really easy to use, and in terms of the OSD, you've got a full plethora of options. Now, as you will see, you've got smart response, which I've gone off simply because when I start gaming on anything more than off, you got a lot of ghosting. I'll get into that in just a second. Smart contrast, gamma 2.2, pixel orbiting. You've got PIP mode, which you can use. And if you have other inputs, you can also view them at the same time, which is great. Audio controls, as I said, not very impressive. In terms of colors, I've got it R as 98, G as 99, and blue as 100. I felt that's the best colors I got from the monitor itself. OSD settings, and in terms of setup, you can have the USB standby mode, and I would definitely suggest you be putting DisplayPort as 1.2. If not, you'll be running at 30 Hz. So there we go in terms of OS2, no complaints there. In terms of the joystick, fantastic. So how does it do in terms of its gaming response? I just want to quickly mention that before I go into the panel quality. In terms of gaming response, I'm not going to really go through it, simply because it's not really aimed at gamers at all. If you're a very much casual gamer, or someone who just wants to lay back with a controller, then you won't have any problems playing that type of game, or an MMO-esque game. Then it'll look fantastic and you can benefit from actually using the monitor. But if you're into FPS shooters then or racing games, this monitor is not for you. You get a lot of trailing, a hell lot of ghosting, even with smart response off. On fastest mode you got a lot of overshoot ghosting which takes place, but the response time of the monitor becomes a lot closer to that quoted 4 milliseconds response time. So if you're a casual gamer, no problems. If you're someone who's more serious, then definitely this monitor is not for you. To be honest, why would you get a 40-inch game monitor if you're a competitive gamer? So definitely for casual gamers, it's fine to get there. But now, well, let's talk about its panel quality. Now, panel quality is obviously the most important thing of this monitor, given the fact it has a VA panel. Now, I must say, given the VA panels, you've got fantastic contrast ratios, and to be honest, I wasn't left disappointed. The contrasts really do come out. You've got a fantastic calibration out the box, and obviously you can customize it through the settings itself as well. But I must say I was very impressed with how well it portrayed colors and how well the contrast was. So in this image, for example, you've got really nice popping green colors over here. You've got a nice contrast between the actual road itself, and the white of the clouds are very they're very precise. In terms of the white color accuracy, I had no problems with that either. So the whites are very much white here, but then grey with the grey background. In terms of deep blacks, again, no problems whatsoever. Deep blacks over here. If I go to another image, I'm just trying to say this one's great for in terms of its color reproduction. This is good for its contrast and color reproduction as well. But in terms of its blacks, I mean, I had no problems whatsoever. The VA panel really does shine out there, and this is the perfect image. There we go. At the top right hand side, top left hand side, you've got great black colors. I had no problems in terms of that. Very deep blacks, and very much impressed with its VA panel. Now, in terms of its color uniformity, I don't seem to have so much perception perceived problems, but I do notice there's a little difference in color uniformity on the bottom end of the screen, and the slight corners. You don't have that much light bleed, which is quite surprising for a VA panel, and more so given the size of the monitor and given the fact it's curved, I didn't notice any sort of distortions coming on the edge of the screen, which again, it's nice to see that not occurring. So in terms of curved and big monitors go, I'm actually very impressed of how well it performs. Now, if you're going to be viewing the monitor from a complete side angle for some reason, then you're going to notice like a slight little curve off on the edge of the monitor, where it seems like letters are kind of disappearing. It's very, very slight, and you have to go at an extreme angle, which I can't see you doing that anyway, but it's something I should note nevertheless. But the biggest thing I would say for most people is backlight bleed, and the backlight bleed of this monitor, well, I didn't notice that much backlight bleed. It's pretty much standard on all type monitors, and I don't notice any sort of problems at the bottom over here or at the top. No noticeable problems that are going to cause you any issues. So overall, guys, for $599, I think it's one of the best 4K curved monitors I've come across. Its size is absolutely humongous. I can't really consider it as a monitor, but nevertheless it is branded as monitor. It is a big monitor that can be used or like framed up on a wall or something and be used with your PC, you've got a PC that can power 4K and you're using it for a media streaming or whatnot, like let's say Netflix, then this is a fantastic monitor. It does all the things that you'd want it to do. Fantastic color reproduction, beautiful design, and all the right settings and all the right inputs that you'd need in order to display that. So it is a 4K monitor, so do remember that. Most people will forget that it's a 4K monitor and therefore dismiss the fact that it's a £600 monitor. But given the fact you get 4K and pretty much factory calibrated out the box, it is a great monitor. So I would definitely recommend it, but it's very much a niche market for people looking for this type of monitor. Anyway guys, I've been Totally Dubbed. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. Make sure you give it a like, comment, subscribe, favorite and share, and let me know in the comments below what you think of the monitor. Buy links and the specs will be in the description below in case you're interested. Feel free to ping any new ones that you find on the internet, as this monitor is relatively new, at least to me. Alright guys, Totally Dubbed out. Bye bye.